welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Holly, and today I'm sharing with you our monthly cookbook collaboration. So it is being hosted by myself and my very sweet friend Ingrid at the Cooking Chronicles with Ingrid. So if you're looking for some delicious recipes to try out for your family, please go head over to her channel because I know you will love the recipes that she shares there. And it is, like I said, a monthly cookbook collab, so we share recipes from different types of cookbooks throughout the year. So each month we're going to share a different theme. This month's theme is winter recipes. So we're going to share a winter recipe from a cookbook with you. There will also be a playlist in the description box for any of my YouTube friends that are going to also be sharing their recipes. So please be sure to check that out. And I am doing this intro from my car, as you can see, because my dogs decided to bark constantly while I was talking and trying to do this intro. So it was just easier to come on out here and do this in my vehicle. So now I'm going to share with you the meal I made, and I hope that you enjoy it because it's really, really good. And let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what I made. This is the cookbook I'm using. It is Kevin Belton's COOKIN, Louisiana. It's one of my favorite cookbooks right now, and I really love this one because I'm from Louisiana, and I just love the recipes that are in this one. And this is Kevin Belton. He is a great chef. He's a local, and he has great recipes in here, and I love, the pictures and everything that he has. So I like to show the cookbooks when I'm doing my collab, just so that way in case you'd like to get one, you can get it on Amazon. There are other places you can also get it, but in case you're interested, I just wanted to show, what it is. But it has a lot of great recipes in this one. So crawfish burgers, we utilize our seafood in our state, and we just love just a lot of different seafood recipes, and I love that it's done by parishes. So this is the recipe I'm going to be making for you today. It's a Creole pot pie, and this one's a really good recipe. So definitely one, if you want to screenshot some of the ingredients and everything, the recipe, you can do that as well. I'm going to try to put it in the description box, but there's so many different recipes in this one, and really flavorful looking ones. So I'm definitely going to be trying to make this, make more recipes from it. And you'll notice that the book has, like I said, parishes. We don't live in counties. Louisiana is unique because we have parishes that we live in. And this is a stuffed melon, or merleton, a chayote. It's a, squash, but we do this is traditional for us every year, is to have these at Thanksgiving and at Christmas. That's one of our favorites that we look forward to having. And I'm from St. Bernard Parish. It's New Orleans' most historic neighbor. So when you say the parish, most everyone knows you're talking about St. Bernard Parish, which is just 5 miles from the French Quarter, the heart of New Orleans. St. Bernard was settled in 1778 by Canary Islanders, known as Isleños, which is what my heritage is. We can thank the Isleños for the merleton. We know from ship manifests that they brought the chayote or merleton to Louisiana, and it's widely grown and used in all Louisiana. So you will see the firsthand recipes in this chapter of how to make that. And as I said, we are New Orleans' most historic neighbor because the Battle of New Orleans was also fought in St. Bernard Parish. So I'm going to go back to that recipe, and we're going to go ahead and start making this Creole recipe. But like I said, I wanted to kind of flip through just to show you, just the different recipes that they have. But this Creole pot pie is what we're going to make today, and I'm going to show you how to put that one together. Super easy. And there is a little bit of prep involved in making this, but with any good Louisiana recipe, there's always, it's homemade, it's going to be delicious. But these are the ramekins I'm using, and these are about 16 ounces, and you can kind of see with my hand how large they are. In his recipe, he says he got 3 servings, so that's what this makes, but I ended up with 4. But you need 2 carrots, and you want to kind of dice those up a little bit. 2 red skinned potatoes and do the same. So kind of dice them up into small pieces. You'll also need the Trinity, which will be a 1/2 cup of chopped onion, a 1/4 cup of chopped celery, and a 1/4 cup of green bell pepper chopped up. And I just try to do them in small pieces so that way, it's easier, for that to cook. To make the roux, you will need 4 tablespoons of flour and 4 tablespoons of butter. You always want equal parts of each whenever you're making a roux. And then you'll also need about 2 tablespoons or so or 2 cloves of garlic minced, and about a tablespoon of fresh parsley, 2 cups of chicken stock, and then it calls for a tablespoon of Creole seasoning. I'm going to use 1/2 a tablespoon to start off with, and then I will taste it as I go because my grandson's going to be eating this, so I don't want it to be over spicy for him. So you can choose to put, to taste as far as the Creole seasoning, but that's what makes the dish actually. And you need a teaspoon of your favorite hot sauce. I'm using Tabasco because that's my favorite. And Worcestershire sauce, you need a teaspoon of that. 1 cup of shredded chicken, cooked. So I just, cooked up some chicken breast and made that. You need 1 egg and a tablespoon of water for later. Andouille sausage, and this is our favorite smoked andouille sausage, so it's Zatarain's. You only need 1/2 pound, so I'm going to use 1 link and probably just a little bit from the other. Also some puff pastry. I chose to get this one. It is not the frozen kind, so I decided to get this one because we're going to put that on top of the ramekins when we're done. But that one's a super easy one to use. If it's in the refrigerated section at Walmart. And I do still have my Christmas decor up because this stays up until January 6th, which is the Epiphany and the first day of Mardi Gras season. So that will all come down actually today, which is January 6th. So we're going to start this Creole pot pie. And I also wanted to show you, this is how I diced up those, the andouille sausage. So just small pieces. The first thing you're going to do is melt your butter in I'm using a medium-size type saucepan. You don't need a large pan for this, but melt it until it gets kind of a brown look to it. You don't want it to burn, but you just want it until it's a mildly brown color. Then start adding your flour slowly. So I'm just whisking it in a little bit at a time, and this is what's going to thicken your base and everything up. This is your roux, and you want it to get a little darker until it gets a brown color. And this is the color I usually get it to when I'm doing like a gumbo. I usually get it a little bit darker than that, but for this, I'm going to go with this brown color. Then I'm going to put my Trinity in, so the onions, the celery, and bell pepper. And you're going to cook this until those veggies get tender and where the onions get translucent. So you do want to cook this down. So we're going to be pre-cooking some of this stuff before we put it in the oven. And it just makes it go a little bit faster. But this is what the recipe also says to do. And once you have the veggies to where they're tender, you're going to add your garlic. So you cook that for about a minute or so. You want to just get that fragrant and, incorporated with those other tender vegetables. That way, it seasons all of that as well. But make sure you don't burn it. And you do kind of have to keep stirring this a little bit so it doesn't burn. Now you're going to add your chicken broth or your chicken stock, whichever one you're going to use. And I do it a little bit at a time. I do not pour it in all at once. I just find it just because that flour and everything would get too clumpy. So I'm trying to get it to where it's a kind of a smoother consistency, if that makes sense. So I just continue to add a little bit at a time and continue to whisk it, and it will sort of stay to where it's a thicker consistency and it doesn't thin out too much. But continue to do that until all of your broth is incorporated into that pan. Now add in the potatoes. And as I said, you want them small pieces, so that way it cooks a little faster. Same with the carrots. Add those in. And then add your cooked chicken. Then you're going to stir in your andouille sausage and make sure to mix all of this up really, really well. You want that fully incorporated so everything gets mixed in and it's soaking, in that juice. But after you do that, normally you would not cover it. You want to bring it to a boil to kind of get those veggies tender. I did cover it, but when you do that, it does lose its thickness a little bit because you're not letting the steam out. So just beware of that. Now, I'm adding the Worcestershire sauce to this. So it is 1 teaspoon. And then I'm going to add the hot sauce to it. So I'm adding that Tabasco. And the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And for us, the half a tablespoon worked perfectly. It was plenty enough spicy. It had a great flavor to it. So just taste as you go, and if you need to add more to it, you can. I am going to add a little bit of salt to this because those potatoes need to have some salt. And I'm going to add the parsley. So just mix all of that in, and then when your vegetables are tender, then it's ready to fill the ramekins. And I put these on a lined cookie sheet because this will overflow just a little bit. They do bubble up a little bit. So I'm going to put this equally into each ramekin. And as I said, the recipe said it was about 3 servings, but I think he may have had larger ramekins. So as I go, I'm just trying to equal out the best I can the amount, equally into each ramekin. And it does make a good bit. I probably could have got a 4th one, honestly, with this, but I only had 4, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm just filling it to pretty much to the top, and it worked out fine, even though they were, full. It didn't overflow too badly, so, just know that you can fill them up just a little bit more than, I think it would really call for. Now, once you have that done, you're going to take your puff pastry, roll it out. You need to find something that's going to be a little larger than what your ramekins are on top. And I found this bowl that I have worked perfectly. Now, I'm just going to make little circles, and I was able to get 4 out of this. So you could see at the top, it didn't quite, I went off of it a little bit, but that's okay. I could stretch it and pull it over the ramekin. So that worked out, fine. So I'm just trying to align it and make sure I get a good, circle here. So once you have it where it's, you have your circles, just take a knife and just trim around it. And then you're going to take them off and then put them on top of the ramekins that are already filled with your delicious Creole pot pie mixture. So just carefully pull it away. That way you're not stretching it too much. You want to make sure it's fully, cut from the sheet. And then I just laid it over top of the mixture, and you can see how it kind of goes a little bit past the rim a little bit. So I'm kind of, putting it down. I put a tablespoon of water and 1 egg and just kind of mix that up. And then I'm just going to brush it over the top of the puff pastry. That way this will get it nice and brown when it comes out of the oven. And it does, you want it just to be crispy. So I'm going to continue to do that. And then once you have all of the egg wash on top, then you want to take a knife and you're going to put just 2 slits into each puff pastry top. And this helps the steam to escape and it doesn't bubble over quite as much. So it allows that steam to come out of the, out of the pot pie. And I put them in the oven on 375 between 30 and 35 minutes. And this is what they look like when they come out. And these were perfectly browned. Really, really, really worked out great. I was where I didn't want them to burn or anything, and they did not. So they just have a nice brown look to them. But you let them cool for about 5-10 minutes and then put them onto a plate with a ramekin. And this is what it looks like. You can see where it just kind of came off, you know, boiled over just a little tiny bit, but not a lot. These were absolutely delicious. So definitely one to make. Really, really good. And this is a great winter recipe for sure. So definitely warmed us up and warmed our souls. And anything you make homemade or from scratch definitely gives you that, you know, warming your soul kind of feeling. But this is delicious, and I can't emphasize it enough. I wanted to show you what all that yummy goodness looked like on the inside. Really, really, really good. Definitely one to make, so I hope that you try this recipe. And please don't forget to check Ingrid's channel out down below. She's also co-hosting this collaboration with me. And if anyone else joined in on this collab, you will find it in the playlist. So check that out to see if anyone else had some delicious recipes to share with you as well. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more like it, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. That will notify you when I post new videos. Hope everyone has a blessed day and a great week. God bless y'all.